Greetings, everybody. Jeffrey Guterman, Strat-O-Matic Network, and here I am on a beautiful Monday, and we are on September 22 in our 1969 replay. This is actually game number 2, according to the schedule, and it's a new series, first of a 3, and it's a snoozer. Seattle at California. We'll see if it is a snoozer. It will be Brunette for Seattle and Messersmith for California. I have yet to set up my cards and fielding ratings. I'm about to get to that in just a minute. I just made a phone call, which was very helpful. And it's been really tough. And I gotta tell you, the phone call that I made was not something I was looking forward to. But it worked out good. I really need to try to put things in perspective. And what I thought I would do is treat myself to a nice leisurely game. It's the only thing that occupies me sufficiently to at least cope somewhat. You know, call it a positive regression, even a juvenile. Effort. I don't think playing games is exclusive to juveniles. Oh, but boy, do I feel a lot better after making that phone call and having that gentleman help me. Because the pressure I'm under is enormous. I'm gonna set up this lineup here. Let's get the California Angels. Same exact lineup they used last time. and we'll set up our fielding ratings. And I want to thank you all for being here. This is the best social interaction I have in my life. Right now, I mean, sure, I interact with some people outside. Wow, Brunette is a -6 hold. Wow. He must have some good move. It's a first. And this is the setup. It's without the crowd noise. We're in Studio B here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We will get remote to California once this game is ready to go. Nertney is a +1. Brunette a -6. That'll make him exactly a -5. Messersmith has a 0 hold, and Askew is a 0. And 0 plus 0 equals 0. Brunette a left-hander. Against Messersmith, the right-hander, Brunette has won 7 on the season. Messersmith 16. Let me go through the starting lineups. I had the start time for this game as 9:30 a.m. Eastern. I'd like to stick to that, if possible, for any latecomers. Nothing worse than seeing a game scheduled at 9:30 and then coming on at 9:30 and seeing it in progress. Well, I guess there are some things worse. like intractable pain, suffering, corruption. I really, really, most people are fine people, really, but the bad apples just make the human species look so bad. For the Seattle Pilots, leading off is Tommy Harper at third. Donaldson will bat second at second base. Walton in left. Hovley in center. Mincher at first. McNerney the catcher. Whitaker in right. Kennedy at short. Brunette the pitcher. With 7 wins on the season, he won 8 in real world. He is a left-hander. Seattle is in 5th place, 2 games ahead of Kansas City, which would be a positive for Seattle. And they're only 3 behind Chicago, but we're getting late here. This is 140-52. They have 10 games left, but they have lost 3 in a row. Seattle. For the California Angels, leading off is Sandy Alomar at second base. It's John Stone in center. Fregosi at short. Reichart in left. Billy Cowan in right. Askew catching. Spencer at first. Rodriguez at third. And Andy Messersmith with 16 wins. And he's had a very good season. He won 16 in real world. And he is noted, among other things, for having struck out 15 in a game. The record in our replay is 16 in 9 innings in a 9-inning game by Gibson. But Gibson went 11 in that game and ended up having 17 strikeouts. So Messersmith has been a super pitcher. And we're going to get ready to go in about 12 minutes. My name is Jeffrey Gudeman. This is the Strat-O-Matic Network. And I'm just trying to make it through the day again. This is the depressed gamer. I don't like to define myself that way, but boy, I gotta tell you, I wake up in the morning with a rotten feeling in my stomach. Oh, just so uncomfortable, so bad, which just feeds into negative thoughts. And I get out of bed, I take some medicine, make some coffee, and I'm doing better. And I'm 66 years old. I'm not worried about having to take medicine. That, well, you know, an anti-anxiety medicine twice a day. I need to function. And I am not the only one going through problems. There's no doubt about that. First pitch in 9 minutes. Stand by. Kathy Harden, just in time. And Kathy Harden is for Andrew, and the California Angels take the field. Like I said, Kathy, I woke up with that rotten feeling again, but I'm significantly better now after I've taken my medicine. Made a very important phone call, which turned out to be encouraging to somebody, not a family member, but related to personal matters. Drinking the coffee. Unfortunately, I've gone through over half the pot already with all that work. But we're ready to play ball. And Andrew Messersmith takes the mound. Andrew has already won 16. He's a right-hander. And leading it off for the Seattle Pilots is Tommy Harper. This is the first of a 3-game series dated September 22 in our 1969 replay. The season is slowly coming toward the end here. Both teams are completely eliminated. Seattle, though, has a chance to beat out the Royals. They have a 2-game lead over the Kansas City Royals, the 2 expansion teams. They came in last in real world, but they're doing 2 games better than KC at this point. And Harper steps in the batter's box, and here's Andrew. Kathy refers to him as Andy. I don't mind. I don't think she'll mind if I go with Andrew at times. Okay, Andrew is ready. Here's the windup and the pitch to Harper. That's a 6-9. Right-handed, struck him out. And that's 1 away, and we are underway here. A 6-9 right-handed. And it's a great way to start the game for Andy. I'm not sure I'm really a fan of that, but we'll try it, the yellow die. That brings up John Donaldson, left-handed hitter. .228 hitter. My question is there such a big difference between a .228 hitter and, say, a .250 hitter? I mean, you know, in the long and short of it. And the market opens down. That's not a healthy thing to do to eye the market either. Okay, here's Andy. And the pitch to Donaldson. That's going to be a 6-9 left-handed. He struck him out. And that's 2. 2 up and 2 struck out by Andrew. On a 6-9 left-handed. And now Danny Walton is the batter. It's just that that red die is evil. That's our... David of Baseball Demos has referred to it as the evil 20 die. I think the red one is the devil incarnate, whereas the other ones are just just troublemakers. Sometimes they work out. Okay, here's Danny Walton now. Messersmith gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch to Walton. It's a 6-6 right-handed. And that's going to be a base hit past the reach of Rodriguez. And if he couldn't get it, a lot of people couldn't get it. He's a good fielder. So 6-6 right-handed. With a 6 on that 20 die. And that'll put Danny Walton, the youngster, on first with 2 outs. And Steve Hovley is the batter. Okay, Andrew is he's ready, he gets the sign from Askew from the stretch. And the pitch to Hovley. That's 3-12. Right-handed, he grounds it to second. And that's going to be Alomar. He's got it, throws it to Spencer. And the side is retired. So that's going to be no runs. One hit, the single by Walton. 2 strikeouts for Andy. We've gone 1/2 inning, and it's Seattle nothing. And California coming to bat. It's Demos who is pulling for the lowly Pilots. And like I said, they are two games ahead of Kansas City in 5th place, which would be an improvement. I don't have the gumption to go look at those standings again, Demos, but I believe that the Pilots came in 6th and KC was in 4th. I think they were in 4th and Chicago was in 5th. I'd have to go look. Anyway, I was talking about that evil 20 die, and I suggest I'm going with yellow today. I don't know if you were here, Demos, but I'm going with yellow today. I think that the red 20 die is the devil incarnate, whereas the other ones are lighter versions, more devil-like, whether it be yellow, green, or whatever. And the green is like a wolf in sheep's clothing, that green. So you got to really be careful. Here we head to the bottom of the first. It's George Brunette. He has won 7 on the season. He was 8-12 in real world. He had 30 starts. And he has won 7. He's a left-hander. And Sandy Alomar will lead it off. It's September 22 in our 1969 replay. And who would have thought how the world changes when I was 11 and a half years old when this game was being played. I was 11 and 4 months old, following the Mets verge, and little did I know that there would be a game of, I didn't know about Strat-O-Matic. KC was 4th, Chicago 5th, there you go. Thank you, Demos. Little did I know that there would be a time at age 66 when I'd be playing a game called Strat-O-Matic live on something called the Internet, a communication system, worldwide communication system with video and audio, and to be able to play these games live. Little did I know that when I played the game. It was a smaller world. In a way, it was a smaller world. The world has gotten smaller. Alomar steps in the box here in terms of mass communication, sure, but back then I don't know what word I would use. It was more of a confined, limited access. And I used to be able to think very well abstractly, and I could parse that in a very detailed way, but I'd rather not. Here's Brunette now facing Alomar, switch hitter batting right. Here's the wind up. Pitch from Brunette, that's a 210, left-handed, and he chops it to third. Harper has it, fields it, throws it to Mincher, and there's one away. Yeah, the White Sox really, there's some sort of I'm not a big believer in shame, because that involves putting yourself down. And I don't believe in doing that. I believe in self-acceptance. Acknowledging your fallibilities and trying to improve on them, but always accepting yourself. And so I wouldn't want to say it was shameful, but it was disappointing, I would say, for an established team like the Chicago White Sox to be beat out by an expansion team. I also thought it bizarre that, and by the way, Jay Johnstone, the prankster, is strolling Kathy Harden. He is Johnstone. Is strolling toward the plate. I always do typos when I do this. We'll wait for Johnstone to make his way. There's a movie now about Billy the Kid. Boy, what a legend that is, huh? Okay, Johnstone finally makes his way to the plate. He steps in the box. Left-handed hitter. This will be lefty-lefty. Here's Brunette now. And the pitch to Johnstone. That's 111 left-handed, and that's going to be a slash. With a left-handed hitter in California with a 10, and that's going to be caught. Beautiful catch by second baseman John Donaldson to rob Johnstone of a base hit. Again, it was a ballpark slash, and as you could see, left-handers 1 to 11 on those. Oh, I'm sorry, it is a base hit. I am so sorry. I misread that. It was 111, ballpark slash, and that is a single. It was single 1 to 11. I am so sorry, that was my error. And that happens, folks. Oh, God, is that gooey? That shit has gotten so gooey now. Oh, God. That shit. I don't know how Steve Aqualung, he uses Dymo tape or whiteout tape, and it doesn't break on him. So we'll put that as a single, as a reminder, as this sets and dries. And here's Fregosi now. So it's Johnstone on first with 1 out. Brunette -5, not being held. Bit of a no-brainer there. Boy, that's going to take a long time to dry because there's there's topography to that whiteout there. The prankster dancing off first without a lead. It's a teasing prance. Oh my. There it is. Oh, I put it in already. A teasing prance because he's not being held. And we'll let that to dry. We'll be patient. Look at that. Shit. I'll tell you something that might help is just to blot off some of the excess here. That would facilitate a quicker dry. And this is all part of Strat-O-Matic Zen, the Zen of Strat-O-Matic. I kind of wanted to rename, I have a couple names, you know. One would be called to rename this channel Depressed and Anxious Strat-O-Matic Gamer, but I don't think that's necessary. I don't think that's a good, I have my name as Strat-O-Matic Network, and then Jeffrey Guterman, just about fits in. That way I get both in. But I could change it to Zen of Strat-O-Matic. Okay, here's Fregosi now. The prankster is teasingly prancing off first without a lead. Here's Brunette now. And the pitch, he's a left-hander, don't forget that. 111. Fregosi grounds it to first, and the prankster goes to second. The prankster prances to second base on that. And again, or now and Zen. Oh yeah, yeah, oh I love it, Demos. Demos, you are very good with language. Do you know that? When we have just one runner on base, it looks to me like the super advanced is about the same as the basic / advanced. Now and Zen Strat-O-Matic. Or Strat-O-Matic Now and Zen. But when you have a runner on first, ground ball C, it's going to be a 3 and the runner will advance. And again, I think it was you, David, who opened up this world to me, realizing I don't do the updated fielding chart super advanced. I should just keep in mind that for second, third, and shortstops with E ratings in the neighborhood of 0 to 6, it's worth looking here. It's worth looking here. I'm going to try to be mindful of that. So now we have 2 outs and the prankster is on second, and he's doing a teasing prance off second with the bonus baby, Rick Reichart. And what a story that was, folks. There is a fascinating documentary on YouTube about Rick Reichart. which I encourage people to watch. Here it is. It's the Odyssey of a Bonus Baby. Just plug in Rick Reichart. And there's his mother, there's his father, and there's Rick on the left in an airport as they traveled to various... There was no draft back then. Again, take note of it, the Odyssey of a Bonus Baby. Oh, you had a video last night and you took my advice there. And I was so whacked out. Here it is. This is probably it. Inside pitch. Inside pitch, I assume. Oh, there's a nice shot of Tabby. Is it Tabby? There's a nice shot of Tabby. We usually don't get a full body shot. Very nice. I hope you don't mind. This was on inside pitch. Here we go. There we go. As an example screenshot of boy, you really, I mean, you print out. Obviously, you print out your score sheets. I don't even have a printer. And yeah, I'm sure it goes a long way to help a lot of people get a nicer, I should say a fuller picture of the ball game. Well, here comes the bonus baby with a clutch situation. It's John Stone on second. And he has a clutch, I guess we would call it a clutch hit on a 1-9. If it's a single or something, I call it a clutch reversal. Here's Brunette now, trying to get out of this. The pitch to Reichart. And that's 1-9 against Brunette, the left-hander. And that is a clutch base hit. Oh my. It's a 1-9 against the left-hander. It would have been also against the right-hander. That is a clutch base hit, and that will bring John Stone home. John Stone prances home to make it a 1-0 ball game. Wow. That really was a clutch hit. Rick Reichart, the bonus baby. On a 1-9 left-handed. And that little horseshoe there, if you want to call it that, denotes clutch, and any out is reversed to a single 2 asteroids. And of course, if it's a hit, I've only seen singles on those, it is reversed to a pop out to the fielder of your choice. So Reichart knocks home Johnstone, and it's a 1-0 ball game. Now here's Reichart. Oh, Prankster and HD Jackson. Yeah, well, we've had those games. Demos. We've had those games, but I think those are two, I guess those are, two special personalities, if you don't mind my description. Reichart is on first. Look at him, 8 to 10 picked off. Brunette -5, that's a no-brainer, not being held. Okay, here's Brunette now, facing Billy Cowan. Brunette and the pitch to Cowan. 6-8, right-handed. He lines it to third, caught by Harper. And the side is retired, but not before 1 run on 2 hits and 1 left on. It was the single by Johnstone. He went to second on the ground out by Fregosi. And then Reichart, in a clutch situation, knocked him home. Oh, did he? Yeah. And we've gone 1, it's a 1-0 ball game. He beat Joe Horland. Wow. You like inside pitch. It's like a whole nother game. That's a whole nother frickin' ball game. And I admire that. I'm quite interested that you're able to, something I was wondering as we're in the middle of innings here. You do the game of the week, the Saturday game of the week, NBC game of the week every Saturday. Oh, you like the mechanics, okay. But my question is, you're doing a 1973 game of the week every Saturday, but is it a full replay? Or what is it exactly? I mean, is it just the game of the week? I know that this is hard to write in text. Do you pick out what really was the game of the week on NBC? Because that might not be easy to find out on and what is the story with that? Is it a full replay or what? Or is it just game of the week? And you let the Strat PC sim the other games. I just played the game of the week. Oh. Boy, that's interesting. So you're saying it's the electronic, the online game, and it plays them out. Interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting thing that you could do a hybrid like that. That's nice. Well, here's Andrew. Top of the second. It's sort of a replay. Okay. Well, if you're doing the sim, I think you would be doing a replay. I mean, the sim is easy enough. I've heard that you can do a full season replay in a minute. You could set it up and and do the whole thing in 1 minute, or whatever it takes for the computer to go around and do its thing. Well, here's Andrew in the top of the second. He struck out 2. He allowed a single to Walton in the first and left him on. It's going to be Don Mincher, who I believe was with the Twins. Before he was drafted. Tell you, this Hunter Biden gun trial has sure moved along quite speedily. Okay, here's Andrew now. Mincher at the plate. It's 1-0 Angels. Andrew, the windup, and the pitch to Mincher. That's a 3-5. Grounder to first. And Spencer has it. And he takes it to the bag, 1 away. It was a 3-5 right-handed. So Mincher is retired. And here's Jerry McNerney. You will do playoffs, cards, and dice for whoever the computer picks up as the division winner. But what I assume you do, as Jerry McNerney is coming to the plate, what I assume you do is input the outcomes of those card and dice game of the weeks that you play. I guess, somehow you can omit the computer doing those games. But that's just a guess. Okay, here's McNerney facing Andrew. It's 1-0 Angels. Top of the second. The windup by Andrew and the pitch to McNerney. 4-5 right-handed, and he struck him out. And that's the third for Andrew. He had a good ratio. 211 and 250. And that's 2 away. And now here's Steve Whitaker. Whitaker, left-handed hitter, comes up to the plate. He steps in the box. And here's Andrew now. The windup and the pitch to Whitaker. That's 6-5 left-handed, and that's a grounder to short X, our first X for the day. That will be for Fregosi at 222. Fregosi trying to get to that. Uh-oh, 2-2, it's going through. Yeah. Devil die. 2-2 S1 base hits, at least. I sure doubt he's going to boot it, but he is an E22. 6-8-9. No. It's going to be just a single getting past Fregosi, and I imagine not many people could have gotten to that ball. Maybe Ozzie Smith. You know, you don't have a lot of one shortstops. At least that's my gut feeling. I don't know what your experience has been. Demos that, you know, I guess Ozzie Smith was a one at times. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. Jim Bella Fregosi. Is that his nickname? Every once in a while I gotta just make sure that my mouse and keyboard is fully charged. And there, you know, it's adequately charged. Is that his nickname? Jim Bella Fregosi. I'm looking it up now. His full name is James Louis Fregosi. Jim is his nickname. I don't see any mention of Bella. And he died some time ago. He died in 2014 at age 71. He had a stroke. He was on an MLB alumni cruise. And the cruise was docked at the Cayman Islands, where he was rushed to a local hospital. His condition was stabilized. He was relocated to Miami. And then 5 days later, his condition declined and he died on February 14. Jim. Oh, it's what you call him. Now, where do you get that? How did you come up with Bella? Meanwhile, Whitaker is on first. Look at him with a 20. It's only a 3 chance against Messersmith. And thanks to David, I am able to play super advanced stealing. And what we see here is, if not held, he's a 1-18. If I'm not mistaken, with the 0. And they're not going to hold him. And Whitaker will try for the lead. This is a very, very tough call. It's, I mean, you know, when you're playing solitaire, I suppose you could do a, oh, you say it's probably not his official nickname. We're gonna go for the lead. And isn't that interesting? That, you know, when you play solitaire, he was 2 for 2 stealing. And the rare chance he gets the lead, and this is a solitaire situation where you have to make a judgment. You have to play 2 hats. If you're playing the Angels hat, if you're Bill Rigney, you say the chances are so remote, we're not going to hold them. And I think a 3 is a fair chance. You have to do it intuitively. I mean, I could create a chart for this, but we're certainly going to have Whitaker with a 1-18 with a lead. Try for it. And he does not get the lead. So that's the way I play it. Whitaker on first with 2 outs, and here's Kennedy now. Oh my God. John Kennedy at the plate. 2 outs, Whitaker on first, not being held. Here's Andrew now. And it's 5-8. It's a fly ball to center. And it's the prankster under it to make the catch. And the side is retired. 5-8, right-handed. And the side is retired, no runs. The single by Whitaker, he was left on base. And we're in the middle of the second. It's 1-0 Angels. And out comes George Brunette. He allowed a run in the first. It was the single to John Stone. Coming home on Reichardt's clutch single. Guess we could call it a carded clutch single if we want to let people know that it was off the card rather than just a generic type of any base hit with 2 outs and runners in scoring position would be clutch, I suppose. And leading it off is Joe Askew. Bela Lugosi, the horror actor. Boy. And I'm sorry to be so full of questions, but is that because he's a horror show, or he's a horror? That he's scary? Is that because he was traded to the Mets for Nolan Ryan? I mean, you know, where do you get that? But you don't have to get into it, really. You don't have to get into this if you don't want to. I'm just have interest in it. Okay, here's Askew to lead it off. George Brunette on the mound. He allowed 1 run in the first. Here's the windup. And the pitch to Askew. And that's going to be a 2-4. Left-handed grounder to second. Donaldson fields it. And throws to Mincher for the first out. Askew is retired. And now here's Jim Spencer, lefty-lefty here. Bela Lugosi, quite a history. You know, I'm fascinated by history, both political international, cultural, you know, and these people from the past, you take like a Bela Lugosi, you know, just, you know, to he died in 1956 at the age of 73. He was Hungarian. Hungarian American. Best remembered for portraying Count Dracula in the 31 film, Igor in Son of Frankenstein, and many other roles. He was married multiple times. Here he is with his first wife. And he's gone. He's freaking gone. I mean, he's that's the thing that gets me. These are from errors of a long time ago. He died of a heart attack. And just, you know, it just fascinates me to think about time and errors of people and past stages. How many people think about him today? How many people? Well, here's Spencer facing brunette. The wind up and the pitch to Spencer. That's 3-6 against the left-hander. Lines it to first, caught by Mincher. 2 outs. A 3-6 left-handed. And that'll bring up Aurelio Rodriguez. Now we find out U.S. No U.S. troops. Okay. Okay, here's Brunette now with 2 outs, nobody on. Rodriguez at the plate, Andy on deck. Here's the pitch to Rodriguez. 1-4 left-handed, pops it up to the left side, foul territory at third base. Harper is under it, and he makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Brunette. A 1-4 against the left-handed, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 for Brunette. We've gone 2 innings. And it's a 1-0 game, Angels. I think this would be a great time for me to take a little break here of about 3 minutes. My name is Jeffrey Guberman, and this is the Strat-O-Matic Network. 1-0 California after 2. Indeed, Kathy, indeed. Whoa. Oh. Finally, an answer to the mystery. You thought Fregosi sounded like Lugosi. I guess you're right. Makes perfect sense. Oh, no problem. That's the great thing about, whoops, well, you know, no porp. That's the great thing about the internet. You can come and go where you want, when you want, where you want. I have, just to let you know, I had some personal affairs to take care of this morning, and I got off to drinking coffee early this morning, but well before this ball game. And I'm down to my last cup, and the big question is, will I do another pot? I think I might. As Andrew or Andy takes the mound, he's no runs, 2 singles each inning, 1 each inning, struck out 3 in a 1-0 ball game. I'll tell you, I don't know about any of you, how this is a full pot. This is a full cup with just a little to top it off. I have such a tendency toward addiction, folks. And I don't do any hard drugs. I, so to speak, I do cannabis. Boy, if you knew how little, I take little clips, little chips. One little chip in the evening. But caffeine is one of my main drugs of choice. Yes, but he has since been traded to Houston. Boughton was on the Pilots, but he has, as you could see, he's nowhere to be found because he was traded to Houston. And leading it off will be George Brunette. He is a 6NR, a pretty fair hitter, I would say, for a pitcher, a 6NR. So I have moved Boughton's card to... Oh, Ball 4 was a great book. I mean, I would love to see if I could buy it again on Amazon or something, because I read it as a kid and just loved it. And I have not read it since, and boy, it's nowhere to be found. Sometimes you can find an audio version, audio book version. It's nowhere to be found. I remember all of us had it. Okay, here's Andrew now. Starting his 3rd inning, it's 1-0 Angels in a relatively meaningless ball game, except insofar as Seattle trying to maintain 5th place, 2 games ahead of the Royals. Brunette, a right-handed hitter. Here's the pitch from Andrew. That's 3-11, and he grounds it to second for Alomar. And Alomar throws it to Spencer for the out. So Brunette is retired. I would say it was, not only was it interesting, there's a lot of adjectives we could use. I would say it was actually important in the history of literature by revealing the inside of Major League Baseball. A lot of people were upset by it too. Okay, here's Harper now. He was struck out by Andrew in the first. The pitch from Messersmith. 3-5 right-handed, and that's going to be a base hit for Harper. Now we have a possible steal situation here. It was a 3-5 right-handed double 1-2. It was a 7 on the deviled eye. This is a deviled egg. Insofar as it's yellow, the yolk denotes a deviled egg. And Harper is on. He has no chance of being picked off, the word that David likes to use. Messersmith a 0. Harper 1-19. Without the lead, he will be held. It's a no-brainer. And that will make him a 1-17. He's going to go for the lead here. 2-6, 11, and 12. And he does not get the lead. So Harper is on first, being held with 1 out, and Donaldson at the plate. Donaldson struck out by Andy in the first. Here's the pitch. That's a 4-10, left-handed, flies to center X. That'll be for the prankster. Prancing over. He's a 3-7. This is no time to joke. Prankster 3-7 in center. Three 7-23 gets to it on an F3. And the prankster on an E7. 6, 7, 8, 9. Makes the catch. F3 with a runner on first. The runner will hold. So Nice catch by All Business there. J. John Stone on that fly ball. 2 outs. Harper still being held. And here's Danny Walton. Walton singled left on in the first. Here's Andrew now. From the stretch and the pitch to Walton. That's a 5-9 right-handed, and he struck him out. And that is the 4th strikeout for Andy. A 5-9 right-handed. So it's no runs, 1 hit, the single by Harper left on base. And it's still a 1-0 ball game. And here's George Brunette to come out. And it'll be Andy leading it off. Both pitchers leading off in the 3rd. Okay, here's Andy. He's a 2 WR, bottom of the 3rd. Brunette, the left-hander. Oh, excuse me. Okay, here's Brunette now. And the pitch to Andy. "3-2", pops it up to short for Kennedy. And he makes the catch, it's 1 away. And now here's Sandy Alomar. Alomar grounded to 3rd in the 1st. Okay, here's Brunette now. Alomar switch hitter batting right. And the pitch. 2-8 left-handed, grounds it back to Brunette. He fields it and throws it over to Mincher for the second out. And here comes the prankster, strolling to the plate. And the prankster steps into the batter's box. Two outs, nobody on. Prankster singled and scored in the first. Here's Brunette now. And the pitch to J. John Stone. That's a 1-8 left-handed, struck him out. Swinging. That's the first strikeout for Brunette, and he's retired 7 in order here. On a 1-8 left-handed. So a 1-2-3 for Brunette, 7 in a row. We've gone 3 innings. And it looks like we got a pretty close ball game here. 1-0 Angels. It is a relatively close ball game, meaningless ball game. I don't know about any of you. Are any of you dealing with a lot of heat wave in your part of the neck of the woods? It's always hot here in Florida, but it hits 90, a high of 90 sometimes these days. And I have been drinking water, and I feel dehydrated, even though I have air conditioning in here. I have a unit. I'm in a studio, and I have a wall unit, and I don't even want to tell you what I keep it at, because I'm afraid of my bill, and I'm also afraid the thing will break, because without air conditioning, I'm a dead man. And it's not too bad in here right now. I have a fan going. But I feel, sometimes dehydrated. Of course, the coffee doesn't help. Caffeine does not help. And also my diet probably doesn't help. But I've been drinking a lot of water. Close to a gallon a day. Close to it. I can't really figure it out. Maybe 3/4 of a gallon. Oh. Let me just top this off. Okay, it's the top of the fourth, and it's going to be Hovley to lead it off. He grounded to second in the first. Andrew, no runs in 3 innings. He's allowed a single in each inning, and they were each left on base. Andrew with 4 strikeouts in 3 innings. Here's Andrew now. And the pitch to Hovley, 6'9", left-handed, struck him out. That's number 5 for Andrew. On a 6'9", left-handed. Is 1 away. And it's Don Mincher coming up. Mincher 0 for 1. Andrew gets the sign from Askew. And the pitch to Mincher. It's a 6'3" left-handed fly ball center. And the prankster is under it to make the catch, 2 away. And here's Jerry McNerney. Here's Andrew now. He struck McNerney out in the 2nd. 2 outs, nobody on, top of the 4th. 1-0 Angels. The pitch to McNerney now. 2-8 right-handed, and there is a double 1. A fly to right, running for it is Cowan, and he catches up with it quite easily to make the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Andrew. It was a 2-8 right-handed, double 1, and it was a 12 on that deviled egg die. Deviled egg 20 die. And we're in the middle of the 4th here. It's 88 degrees, give or take, in Fort Lauderdale. 89. Feels like 101. Oh, Lord. Air quality poor. Goes down to 80 at night. That's a good thing. God. Highs close to 90 indefinitely. Indefinitely. Thunderstorms starting Tuesday through Friday will provide a little bit of relief. Bottom of the 4th, and here's George Brunette now. He allowed 1 run in 3 innings, 2 hits, They were in that first inning. He has struck out one. And here is Bella Fregosi to lead it off. The late Bella Fregosi. Here's Brunette now. The pitch to Bella, 4-11 right-handed, and that's a ballpark slash off Brunette. It's going to be an 11. I don't think that's going to go through. Right-hander. Yes, it does. No, it does. It was a 4-11 ballpark slash. And the right-hander in California gets the base hit. So Bella leads off with a single. It's a no-brainer, no hold on Fregosi with Brunette with that awesome move to first. A -5. And here's Rick Reichart, the bonus baby, who knocked in the run, the only run for the Angels today. Okay, Reichart, he's a beat bunter. Any input from anybody here, whether you want them to lay it down, be glad to follow advice, as the decisions are very hard for me. For reasons I've explained nauseatingly, or what would the word be, ad nauseum. Keep in mind 1, 2, and 3 house rule. 1, 2, and 3 the infield is in, making him a C. 4, 5, and 6 the infield is back. Any input from anybody? If not, we'll just hit away. Okay, here's Brunette now. Fregosi on first, not being held. The pitch to Reichart. And that is a 5-8 right-handed, flies it to right. And it's Whitaker under it to make the catch. One away. Reichart is retired. Fregosi still on first, one out. That was a 5-8 right-handed. And now here's Billy Cowan. As I recall, Billy was on that 64 Angels team. I have the 64 set. Oh, excuse me. I am so sorry about that. Try to keep things straight here. Oh, God. God. Lord, what happened here? There it is. Maybe that's better. God. I think I need to raise up a little bit here to get the full picture. better. Okay, here's Cowan now. With Fregosi on first, 1 out. Brunette from the stretch. And the pitch to Cowan. 1-3. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? 1-3 left-handed. Oh, he grounds it to third, forcing Fregosi. Would have been a double play against a right-hander. He 1-3 against the left-hander, grounds it to third, and that forces Fregosi 2 outs, and Cowan is now on first base. And Cowan is a no-brainer, no-hold. And that's going to bring up Joe Askew, the catcher. Okay, Brunette. With Cowan on first, 2 outs. And the pitch to Askew. 6-5 right-handed, grounds it to short X. That can always be a problem here with these pilots fielding. Kennedy is a 476. That's an average, you know, he wasn't a regular, but that's an average of an error every 2 games, just about. Every other game. My God. On a 6-5 right-handed, grounded to short X, Kennedy. Let's not forget this was the pilot. That's going to be 5-4. It's an S1. Goes through. And on that whopping 76, look at that. All the way down here. Look at all that. 3-4-5. That's a rare play. Whoa. It's going to be an S1 rare play with a runner on first, which there is. The batter hits a line drive which hits the runner. The runner on first is called out. The batter goes to first on a single. So, not sure exactly how to score that. I think we give a single to Askew. But the third out, and that's going to leave us really not knowing how and why that happened, except we could go that it was a rare play. Some of you, if any of you have any better understanding of how that would have been scored, I think we give the single to Askew, but it hits Cowan on an S1 with a runner on first. The batter hits a line drive which hits the runner, Cowan, and the batter on first, the runner on first, Cowan, is called out. The batter goes to first on a single. Now, maybe it's ruled a line out.
Everyone said it would take years to earn a respect.
I don't know if anybody knows. Does anybody have any knowledge about that? Not that it really matters. I don't keep that stat. I don't keep batting average. Maybe he doesn't get a single. If anyone has any knowledge of that, and I sure don't have the gumption to look that up in the rule book, but it is the third out, and it will be no runs on one or two hits, I'm not sure, with none left on. I mean, you could call it one left on as cue, but we'll just move on. It doesn't affect the play. We've gone 4 innings, and pretty good pitching on both ends thus far in this ball game, and we appreciate you being here. My name is Jeffrey Guterman. I do this to keep occupied, keep busy, keep distracted from my problems. The defense has rested. I don't know if if the prosecution, I guess now what that means is you're going to have closing arguments. This is in the Hunter Biden gun case. And Biden has chosen not to testify. And so you'll have closing arguments probably starting today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Those will probably finish up, and then it'll go to the jury tomorrow, late tomorrow maybe. Pretty speedy trial as far as I'm concerned. I think this one just started last week. We are at a 1-0 ball game. And I'm going to take another break and ponder whether I want to make a little more coffee. This is our 1969 replay. In case you're wondering, we are on the date. You always see the date up here in the upper right, September 22 in our 1969 replay. It was a Monday. It's a relatively meaningless ball game. First of a 3-game series. Like I said, the only play here is that Seattle has a 2-game lead over Kansas City, which is an improvement from real world. I'm going to take a break for about 3 minutes. I hope everybody's hanging in there. I'm Jeffrey Guterman, and this is the Strat-O-Matic Network. Well, I'm back in Studio B, and I'm gonna try to be an adult and not make any more coffee and just try to be tough with it. Oh. Whew. And here's Andy Messersmith throwing shutout baseball. He's allowed 3 hits, all singles, struck out 5. And he'll face the bottom third of this order here in a 1-0 game. The lone run scored by John Stone in the first on a clutch single, a carded clutch single by Reichart. Boy, is it hot out there. Okay, here's Andrew now, starting his 5th inning. His first endurance is the 8th. Brunette is the 5th. Here's Andrew now. The windup and the pitch to Whitaker, leading it off. That's a 6-3 left-handed fly ball center. John Stone prancing over to make the catch. 1 out. And here's John Kennedy now. Okay, Messersmith is ready. Here's the pitch to Kennedy. That's 6'11", right-handed, a ballpark slash. That one I don't think is going through. A 6'11", right-handed ballpark slash. 17 with the right-hander. And it does go through. Oh my, 1-18. That must be a slick infield. I don't know how they come up with different on lefties, righties, as if the infields are different on each side. But it is a base hit. Just goes through. And Kennedy is on. Kennedy is with Andrew, is a 1-18 with a lead. If he's not held, he has the lead. How do you like that? So he was 4 for 4 stealing. He will be held. And he will try for the lead with Brunette coming up. A 5 with no pickoff. Here's Kennedy now trying to get the lead. And he does not get the lead. Almost. So he's being held. He would have gotten the lead automatically with the asterisk, and that's the reason why we held him. And here's Brunette, a 6NR. He's a C bunter. We'll have him hit away. Here's Messerschmitt now. The pitch, oh, that's a re-roll. Look at that. Now, you may not be able to see that. And if I move this, it's probably going to move it, but I just want to show you that that thing is hanging. That 4 die, you see it's hanging, it's not flat. And that is a house rule. There it goes. A house rule that the whole thing gets re-rolled. We set our house rules out a priori, and therefore there's no question or objection, at least from me. So we consider that a foul ball. And here's Andrew now from the stretch with Kennedy on first, 1 out. The pitch to Brunette. That is a 6-9 right-handed. Struck him out. And that's number 6 for Andrew. Number 6. Oh. 2 outs now. And I think I'm going to break down and make a little coffee, just a half a pot, which is like 2 cups for me, because a cup is a mug to me. That coffee goes quick. So with 2 outs and Kennedy on first, Tommy Harper is the batter. Here's Andrew now from the stretch. And the pitch to Harper. That's going to be a 1-7 right-handed, walked him. Kennedy goes to second. And John Donaldson, a .228 hitter, if I recall, comes up in a clutch situation. And he does not seem to have any clutch situation rolls. Oh, yes, he does. He has a reversal on a 3-4. Okay, here's Andrew now. First and second, 2 outs. Good morning, Stack. So glad to see you. And thank you for being here. Here's Donaldson. Facing Messerschmitt, clutch situation. Six left-handed, walked him. So Andrew has loaded the bases with pilots here in the 5th for Danny Walton, the youngster. A clutch situation. That was a 6-6 left-handed. Walton brought up. Nowhere to put him. Butt out. Here's Andrew now. Another clutch situation, and he has a clutch reversal on a 2-4. Here's Andrew now, trying to get out of this. That's a 6-7 right-handed, grounds it to second X. Alomar. A 325. This could be risky. Let's see if he can get to it. Five-3. He gets to it. G3. The infield was not in, or no one being held. And that held is relinquished once he's off first, by the way. So it's a G3, plain G3, on a 5-3. And it's a 2-3-4 on an E25. And he throws him out. Nice play by Alomar on a G3. And the side is retired. So the pilots leave the bases full as Andrew gets in trouble. And we're in the middle of the fifth here in a tight ball game, 1-0. And George Brunette will come out to pitch his first endurance inning. He's a 5. I'm not going to make coffee. I just don't feel like it. Just don't feel like it. After Coke. Cope with the feelings. Okay, here's Brunette now. He'll face the bottom third of the order. It's still 1-0 Angels. And Jim Spencer will lead it off. He popped to first in the second. This will be lefty-lefty. Here's Brunette now. And the pitch to Spencer. 3-11 left-handed. He pops it up to the right side of the infield. First base, Mincher gets to it, and he makes the catch. A 3-11 left-handed. And that's going to bring up Aurelio Rodriguez. Rodriguez 0 for 1. He popped to third or line to third. I don't denote that, so I'm not sure. The Pilots were only in Seattle for a year. That's correct. Correct, Stack. They moved to Milwaukee. And I strongly recommend a documentary if you're interested, Stack. Whoops. And it's quite an extensive one.
What if you could do SEO smarter?
It's called Seattle Pilots, Short Flight in History. Which goes through many of the issues that face this team. And I have just posted it there for you. It's really worth a watch. Seattle Pilots, Short Flight in History, although it's not a short documentary. It's an hour and 47 minutes. It just goes on and on. Quite interesting. Many interviews, history of baseball in Seattle. Interviews from players who are on the team. The history of the financial problems, because the people who own the team didn't fund it adequately. They were using a minor league ballpark that was dilapidated. Sometimes the plumbing didn't work. I mean, it was just a nightmare. They got a great reception when they were awarded the team from the city. They had a parade, but it didn't work out. And it's really worth a watch in case you haven't seen it. So I just posted it right there if you're interested. Here's Aurelio Rodriguez with 1 out, nobody on. Brunette in his first endurance inning. It's 1-0 Angels. Here's Brunette now. And the pitch to Rodriguez. That's 411 right-handed. There's the slash. That's going to go through. We know that much already. A 411 right-handed slash. And we've looked at it before. He's right-handed. It's 1-18. That goes through. So Rodriguez is on. And here comes Andrew. With 1 out and Rodriguez on first. Rodriguez, no brainer, no hold. With Brunette -5. I want to tell you that Andrew is an A bunter. And any input from anybody out there, whether you want to bunt with one out so Alomar has a chance to knock Rodriguez home, I sure would appreciate, yay or nay, and I will follow your recommendation. Bunt or hit away, anybody else? Anybody out there? Anybody want to help me? Anybody at all? Just type it in, bunt, or type in hit away. Because it's really hard for me. Okay, I'll hit away. Since I'm not getting any feedback here on this, that's fine. I understand. Some people don't care. Some people don't want to commit. Some people don't want blame. I don't want blame. I'll admit that. So I call out to other people. But we'll have him hit away here with one out and Rodriguez on first, not being held. Here's Brunette now. The pitch to Andrew. That's a 4-7 right-handed, walked him. So it's almost as good as a sacrifice, and maybe even better, although there's a double play opportunity. So on the 4-7, Messerschmitt right-handed, walk by Brunette, and Brunette is one hit or walk away from fatigue. Womack and Segui pitched in this game in real world in relief. And we use that as a guideline. Womack, the right-hander, is warming. And Dooley Womack was on Houston, but he has come back. He was traded. I think that was the Boughton trade, but I'm not certain. Didn't see a lot of action with Houston. And Womack, again, interviewed quite frequently, extensively, interspersed within the documentary that I posted. Is warming, as Brunette is one hit or walk away from fatigue. And here's Alomar now, switch hitter batting right against Brunette, with only one out, first and second. Here's Brunette now. That's a 4-8, switch hitter batting right, and that's going to be a base hit. One asteroid. And Rodriguez will hold.